It feels like it's been forever since I filmed my last Olight product review. I'm reviewing my drink bottle, Coleman Camp Stove, Deeper Chirp Plus, EcoFlow River, this Helinox Perrin 2, Arcfeld UV, an electric hand warmer. Olight reached out to me recently and asked me if I could film a torch review for them. It's from the Warrior series. It's a brand new model from the Warrior series. But there's more than one torch in there. I don't know what else is in there. Sometimes Olight will send me a gift just to say thank you. Let's open it up and see what's in here. I'll open it with my O knife. How fitting to use an Olight knife, an O knife, to open my Olight package. I only sharpened this the other day, so it's razor sharp. Right, there's the new torch. It's an Olight. If you look at the side here, it says Warrior Ultra. It's an Olight Warrior Ultra. But what's the other one? Oh, cool. It's a bit windy here, so I've got to put some stuff on this bag here so that it doesn't blow away. I've also got an Oclip Ultra. Recently I filmed a video about all of the camera gear that I use to make my fishing videos, and I showed you my big box with all my different cameras and attachments, and in there I had an Oclip, and I said it's an awesome little torch and it lives there and it comes in very handy. Well, they've sent me an Oclip Ultra as well. We'll have a quick look at that after we have a look at the main thing that I'm reviewing, and that's the Olight Warrior Ultra. Let's cut it open and have a look and see what's inside. Typical of Olight, it'll be very well packaged. I've never once had anything from Olight that's been bad quality. The quality is always right on point. Oh, this is the torch. I'm not doing the full review now. I'm going to get it out, have a look at it, and then over the next couple of days I'll play with it, charge it a few times, put it through its paces, and then I'll film the product review once I've had a chance to use it for a bit. Under there's a yellow card. Under here there's other boxes, which will probably have, oh, it's got a case. That's cool. It comes with a case. Some instructions and a magnetic charger. So it's going to be magnetically charged. So I've got some instructions, the magnetic charger, a pouch for the torch, and the torch itself all in this box. Let's get the torch out of the bag. That can go in the rubbish bag. Gee whiz, it's heavy, very solid construction. It's got a nice deep bezel just there, and it's a serrated bezel too. Ideal for breaking windows. You could hit someone on the head with that and it'll do a bit of damage. It's got quite a flat button there. You'd be able to push out with gloves on, no worries at all. It's got a button at the back as well. So we've got a button at the back and a button at the top. I'm really impressed with that deep bezel. That's really good if you need to break glass or something. And it's got this clip here, like a pocket clip if you wanted to clip it onto a pocket or something. Now, most Olights will come with some charge in them. They won't be completely flat. Usually you've got to take off either the front bit or the back bit to access the battery, and there'll be a little yellow bit of plastic in there to prevent the battery from losing power while it's in the torch. Yep, look at that, just like that. You can see that little yellow tag there. I'll grab that and pull that out and throw it in my rubbish bag over here. Now the torch will probably come on. But which button do I use? Do that right up. Okay, how the back one works. Top one works. Oh, that's turbo mode by the looks of it. Right, there's moon mode. Then low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Then double click for turbo mode. So from off, I hold it in for a couple of seconds and it'll come into moon mode. That gives you moon mode. Then you hold it down and you get low, medium, high. It'll cycle through low, medium and high. All right, then double click and it just goes straight into turbo mode. That's really cool. Does it have a strobe? Some of their torches have a strobe mode if you triple click. Yep, we've got a strobe as well. Ah, cool. Right. Well, I've already worked out how to use it. Now we just need to see how it performs. Let's have a quick look through the spec sheet, which I've just put away in the bottom of the box and packed up. I sort of packed it up because it's windy today and I don't want things blowing around. Right, I've had a quick look at the spec sheet here. Now that I've found it, Olight, if I've got one beef with you, it's these instructions. We don't want a huge big sheet of paper. How about a little book or something that just make it a bit easier? In saying that, I rarely ever look at the instructions because most of the information is available online anyway. Now, moon mode. In that low moon mode, 1 lumen, and it goes for 55 days. So in moon mode, you'll get 55 days of use, and the maximum 2,500 lumens in turbo mode. You get that for a couple of minutes, and then you get 800 lumens for 162 minutes, and then you get 39 minutes at reduced rate, which I think is about 200 lumens. Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, let's talk about, so there's 3 settings. There's moon, turbo, and then you got the regular setting, which is low, medium, and high. In turbo, you get 2,500 lumens, but only for a couple of minutes. In low, you get 1 lumen for 55 days. Then you get low, medium, high. The high, 800 lumens, will go for about 3 hours. So you've got a torch that'll last you about 3 hours in high when you're out the bush. Let's put this in its awesome little pouch, which you can carry on your bag. This will be handy for pretty much anyone. It's a great tactical torch, good for security, police, army, good for fishermen, hunters. It's good for anyone because it's just a handy little torch, but it's very solidly built. Now I'll put that in the bag. Now I'll show you more about that torch when it gets dark, or in a few days after I've had a few days of use. We'll have a good look at it. Let's have a look and see what's in here. This will just be a quick look. I'm not reviewing this. This is just a gift that they've sent me to say thank you for reviewing the Warrior. But if you saw my recent camera video where I talked about my fishing cameras and stuff that I use to make my fishing videos, you'll remember that I mentioned the Oclip. That was the Oclip Pro. This is the Oclip Ultra. So they're normally magnetic. That is magnetic. It's trying to push that away. Now it'll go that way. Let's have a look. USB-C charge. It's flat, I think. It must be either that or it's locked. Maybe it's locked out. Look, I'll have a good look later. Maybe it's got some. Oh, I held it on and it came on in moonlight mode. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Same as the other one. We've got that torch, and is that a red torch? I'm guessing. Oh no. Oh, it's UV. Is that UV? I think I'll know more. I'll know more when it gets dark, but I reckon that's UV. I really hope that's UV. Looks like UV to me. It is, I'm pretty sure it is. Awesome. I'll have a play with this one later as well, but just to give you an idea, that's the Oclip Warrior. It's got what appears to be a spotlight and a floodlight and possibly a UV light, and it's the normal clip and magnet and USB-C charging. Right, I can't wait till it gets dark to review the Warrior Ultra and to play with the this. I'm blinded now, I can't say anything. Next time you see me, it's going to be dark and I'm going to have a torch in my hand. Well, welcome back and welcome to the nighttime component of this video, where I can confirm that the little Oclip Ultra has a UV light on it, as you can probably tell by how white my teeth are. And there's a fair bit of UV in this shirt that I'm wearing, but only from there down. Let's go and play with these torches and see how bright they are. Now I'm quickly going to show you this Oclip. That's in the UV mode, so that's very dull, unless it sees something with UV in it like my legs. That's very dull. So let's clip that little circle forward. Now we've got a spotlight. And then I'll click it forward one more. And now we've got a flood. Now this torch isn't designed for anything other than convenience. Perfect for an EDC, which is an everyday carry if you've got an EDC bag or something. Perfect handy torch. It's so small it fits in the palm of your hand, no worries at all. It's small, powerful and convenient. It's got a flood. I'm doing this one-handed, so sorry if I'm slow. A spot which goes quite a fair way, and of course the UV. There's actually a barbecue area here. Here we go. There's bound to be some kind of rubbish laying around that's got UV in it. But anyway, that's all I'm going to show you about that, because I really want to show you this Warrior Ultra. Let's get that out and have a look. Right, here's my Warrior Ultra. Now, there's 8 green lights around this button, and I'll show you them shortly. The 4 on the right represent the battery power, and the 4 on the left represent the mode. So you've got 1 for nearly empty and 4 for full on the right hand side. On the left, moonlight and low share the same light. Then you've got medium, high and turbo on the left. So let's turn it on in moon. They don't stay on for very long. So I've got full power and I'm in moon mode. Now if I go up into one, now I'm in low, and that still shares the one light. Hold it in. Medium, 2 lights. High, 3 lights. Double click for turbo, 4 lights. So you can see how the lights work. They don't stay on for very long. Right, let's have a look and see how we go. So we're putting in moon mode. You can sort of see that there. You can just see where you're going. It's enough to get you out of trouble. If you were camping for a few days and you had no means to charge your torch, you'd happily use this around the camp to see what you're doing. Let's go into low. Low starts giving off a bit of brightness and lighting things up. Medium is quite a big step up. You can see quite a fair way there. High is nice and bright. You can see a lot with that. And turbo is going to be crazy bright. But you can see there that it's a bit of an all-rounder, this torch. It's not a proper floodlight. It's also not a proper spotlight, but it is a very bright light. And I can see a fair way up into the bush there with that in turbo mode. But let's go back down to high. So I'll cycle back through low, medium, high, because that's what you'll get after turbo mode dies out. So I sort of say about these things, you use them in high. Then if you see an animal or something you want to photograph, or you hear something like I just heard in a tree, you double click to go up into turbo, check it out. But for for everything else, high is more than adequate. But anyhow, you can see there, you get the idea. It's quite a bright light. That's in high. Let's put it back into turbo. And that's just crazy bright, epically bright. More than enough light for anything you want to use it for. Look, it's not the best hunting light. I think if you wanted a spotlight for hunting, you'd probably want something like a Javelot, but then you get no flood. You just get a pure spot. If you wanted a flood, I've actually got a floodlight in my pocket. I'll get it out and show you in a second. But if you wanted a flood, you'd be better off to get something else. But if you want a good all-rounder, this is a good all-rounder. I'm going to get that floodlight out and we'll compare it next to this. Right, so what I've got here now is the Olight Prowess. Full confession, I forgot what it was called and had to get it out of my pocket to see what it's called. But that's the Prowess. You can see there's not really much of a spot, but it's got an epic flood. It has got a bit of a spot. So let's just look back down the track here that I drove in on. That's the Prowess in turbo mode. So we'll go low, medium, high. That's the Prowess in high. That's the Prowess in turbo. Let's compare that now with the and the Prowess as the option of having that nice warm light underneath for reading and stuff as well. But let's turn that off and go back into the Warrior, the Warrior Ultra. So full flood on the Prowess compared to full flood on the Warrior Ultra. So the Prowess is a bit brighter. I would recommend the Prowess if you want a flood. If you want a really bright floodlight, I highly recommend the Prowess, which is the one you can see in the bottom of the screen there. If you want a spot, I would recommend something from the Javelot series or the Javelot range of Olights. But if you want a really good all-rounder, then this little Warrior Ultra is an absolute ripper. And look, you could hunt with it. You could certainly hunt with it. You could hunt rabbits and stuff with an air rifle or a 22, but it's not going to give you as much reach as a dedicated spot like a Javelot. So you certainly could hunt with it, especially around the shed and stuff if you're hunting rats and rabbits and stuff. Just a very handy torch. I'm actually filming this closing scene with a nice warm light that comes out from the bottom end of the Prowess. I'm a big fan of the Prowess, but the Warrior Ultra is an awesome torch, and the little Oclip is very, very handy, especially if you like fishing and you like to look at which lures have got UV in them. UV lights are really cool and really handy. Folks, I've tried to keep this video as factual as I can. I hope you've I hope I've been able to help you out with any questions you may have. Don't forget that there will be links below in the video description. If you want to buy something from the Olight store, use my discount code RF10. Thank you all very much for watching.